Hey guys, it's Tamara Bennett from Southern Adornments Decor, and we're going to be painting an Easter egg today. So many of you guys are brand new to my page and have never heard of the free library. And so today I'm going to introduce you guys to what I call the free library. It is a place on my website where I have some free templates. I think there's like 5 or 6 free templates in there now. And so if you guys, in the free library, there are 5 or 6 different printable door hanger templates that you guys can use to cut out your own blanks with a jigsaw or scroll saw. So here is the big Easter egg door hanger shape that we're going to be painting. And if you guys are interested in getting a blank of this, if you're not able to cut out your own shape, you can go to my website at Southern Adornments Decor. Isn't this cute? SouthernAdornmentsDecor.com and search the word egg, and it will bring up the egg blank door hanger for you. So this is, I've never done this type of egg before, but it's going to be fun. We're going to do like a ombre kind of look. How many of you guys like ombre? All right, if you guys don't mind sharing this video, I would much appreciate it. And I always like to surprise one of my sharers with a little bit of happy mail. So there's an extra added bonus. If you share the video, you might just be the person that I message and say, hey, what's your email or what's your address? Okay, so I'm starting out with the Key West color, and we're going to start with like a light teal color up at the top, and it's going to fade down to a dark teal and eventually purple at the bottom. It's going to look kind of like one of those Easter eggs that you've dipped in like 2 different colors. Have you guys ever done that? I always do that when I dye eggs with the kids. Is that egg-shaped cardboard or wood? It is 1/4 inch MDF. MDF. All of the blanks that I sell on my website are MDF. So if you guys are just now hopping on, you can get a free egg door hanger template. If you comment the word egg, it will send you a link where you can go and join the free library on my website. It's just a little place where all you have to do is enter your email. We will send you a password in your email for that protected area of the website. And once you get that password, it's probably going to go to your spam folder, so beware. Once you get that password, please, please, please save it somewhere safe, because you guys are always like messaging me, I lost the password. So save it somewhere you can find it again later. And then you can go and enter that website. There's like a heart-shaped template in there. I'm going to wet my brush a little bit to spread this paint. It is not, it's like so thick today for some reason. What else is in there? There's a mermaid template. What else? I don't know. For those of you who have access to the free library, what else is in there? There's a pineapple, I believe. If you guys paint an Easter egg, I want to see it. Okay, I'm holding this sideways while I'm painting it to make sure that my strokes are somewhat level and they're not going like diagonal across the egg. My paint's a little thick, so I'm dipping my brush in water occasionally to get a little bit more. I'm going to go not quite halfway down on this egg with the Key West color, and then we're going to start adding like an ombre effect of the Laguna teal in with the Key West. It's going to be fun. Somebody will be getting some happy mail. Okay, so we're a little more than halfway down. So now let's add in some of this. Already squirted some out. And the brush I'm using is a flat tip brush. It's a little over 1 inch wide. If you're doing anything large like this, it will help eliminate those brush strokes by using a large brush. I'm not even rinsing my brush out. I'm just switching straight to the Laguna teal, which is a little darker. I'm going to go right across the middle here. And I'm just going to start working it in. Long strokes. You notice I'm not doing little strokes, I'm doing long ones. And we'll blend it a little bit better in a moment. I'm just trying to get some color laid down. So if you guys haven't noticed, that we are starting a 10 days of spring projects. Some friends online of mine have started a 10 days of spring projects like Facebook Lives. And so today is technically day 3. I'm not doing all 10 days, but we are supporting one another and sharing each other's videos. And so yesterday was Kara Williams. And then the day before that was Heidi Easley. And if you guys want to go back and watch any of these previous days, you can scroll down in my newsfeed or on my page and you'll see the links. Thank you, Shar. This shirt's available in my store. I just want to paint pretty things and craft all day. It's one of my favorite shirts. I've started laying down some of this Laguna teal and see where it was like needing to blend. So where it needs to blend, and it's best to work while the paint is still wet. If your paint is starting to dry, get you a little bit of water And just keep working those two colors back and forth on top of one another. And you can even dip your brush back in the Key West if you need to get just a little bit more of that if it's starting to dry, because mine is drying pretty quickly. But you'll want to keep your brush kind of wet and just keep working that color back and forth to create that ombre look. I'm going to get a little bit more Key West for right up in here. And we're just going to keep going back and forth till it looks nice and smooth. So I've kind of got a transitional area right here across the middle of the egg. You guys see that? It looks like the ocean water. Isn't that pretty? Not washing my brush. I'm just picking up some more of this Laguna paint and working my way further down. And when I get further down here, then we're going to start blending in some purple. It's going to be so pretty. And then we're going to do a pattern on top of the ombre. Let me get some more of this. It looks like a beach right now. Yes, it does. So imagine you could use this on like a beach themed door hanger, this technique. Okay. Now I'm just doing the, so we've got the Key West up here, and then we've got our transitional area where the two colors blend together, and then down here it's just Laguna. So I'm going to go a little further down with the Laguna and try to work quickly because I like to work while my paint is still wet to do the blending. And then we'll add purple. I'm not going all the way down, just part ways. Okay. I'm not going to rinse my brush out though. I'm just going to set it aside. And then I'm going to get, this is Lavender by Decor. Just going to dip right in that and start working right here in this transitional area with the purple. Yes, I use egg cartons all the time. I love putting my paint in egg cartons. It keeps everything from mixing together because I don't like my paint colors to mix together too much. If I am mixing, I do like to use like this part of my egg carton so that I can blend the colors better. But, oh, this is so pretty, you guys. So pretty. We're just going to work this purple on down here so that it's more solid purple at the bottom. And then we'll transition it a little better in a minute after I've got it all covered. These colors are gorgeous. Okay. So now we've got all purple down here, and I'm just going to keep working and smoothing my brush back and forth until it starts to looking like it's going to blend real good, and I can even get just a little bit of water. And work that purple on up into the turquoise just a little bit. Kind of creates an in-between color. Oh, that's pretty. Let me hold it up for you guys. Look at that ombre. Does look like an Easter egg that's been dyed on two different sides, or two different ends, doesn't it? Okay, now that I'm looking at it, I'm seeing where, like right over here, that transitional color didn't come all the way over to the side. So I'm going to work on that for just a second and see if I can blend that over just a little bit more. But that's just me being a little bit picky about it. You really don't have to be that perfect with it. I'm going to get a little bit more of this Key West and just kind of get Key West and Laguna. And I need some more water on my brush. It helps if your brush stays nice and wet. It makes it blend so much better. Okay, we're not going to try to be too perfect with this because y'all know I don't do that on anything that I do. So there we go. That's good enough. So all of my door hangers are laser cut. But you guys at home, if you don't have a laser cutter, can cut these using a jigsaw or a scroll saw. And it's fairly simple. You just print out your egg template at home, tape it together with some Scotch tape, cut it out just like you would a sewing pattern, and then lay it on top of your wood and trace it with a pencil. Then you can just take your jigsaw or your scroll saw and cut out the egg shape. Now this egg shape is really easy to cut out. It's very forgiving. So if you have never cut a door hanger before, I would love to challenge you to cut this one out as your first door hanger because it's going to be really easy compared to some others that you may try. And I use the colors Key West by Apple Barrel, Peacock Teal by Decor. If you're using Apple Barrel colors, you could use Laguna by Apple Barrel. And then Lavender by Decor. If you're buying Apple Barrel, you could use Purple Iris, I believe, is also really pretty. And then I'm just drying it with a hairdryer to make sure it's nice and dry so that I can do the next part. So this is what it looks like so far. We've just blended our colors. It's not super blended. It looks kind of splotchy, but you know, when you're actually dyeing Easter eggs, they never look perfectly blended either. Okay, so the next thing we're gonna do is I'm gonna get the biggest round tip brush that I can find in my stash. Let's see. That one's pretty big, but it's not as flexible. I want a really flexible one. Those look about the same. Okay, so a round tip brush. If you guys don't know what a round tip brush is, they look like this. You know, the bristles are all kind of pointed. And this is the fattest one I have, which means it has a lot of bristles compared to one that's itty bitty like this that doesn't have very many bristles. So then you're gonna take this one and you're gonna pick a color. I'm gonna use pink. This is called Peony Pink by Decor. You could also use like Magenta by Apple Barrel. And I'm gonna swirl my round tip brush around in the paint, get it nice and loaded up with lots of paint. Now this is the part where you're gonna have to like relax a little and just have fun with it and do it quickly. Because if you do it too slow, it's gonna look wobbly and you want it to look kind of free and fun. And we're just gonna do a fun little swirl. So just do it really quick and then you can go back and you can thicken up the swirl just a little bit with that round tip brush. Come on in, Brett. Brett just got off the school bus. I'm doing a Facebook Live video, bud. How was school?
Good.
So just take that brush and smooth it out and thicken it up a little bit. You say hi to everybody? Did you really wear a Halloween shirt to school today?
Yes.
He wore a Halloween shirt to school. What's this? Congratulations, you're a super reader and you've earned a accelerated reader field trip. That's awesome, bud. Go put that on the kitchen counter and I'll fill it out later. You love the colors. I do too, Teresa. Yes, he wore a Halloween shirt to school. I don't really get, I don't tell my kids what to wear. They just dress themselves. And so that must have been what he was in the mood for this morning. This pink is popping on top of this purple and teal. It's so pretty. So I'm just going through and thickening up my strokes with this swirl. And then we're gonna make another swirl. Okay, so let me show you up close because it's not perfect, y'all. It's kind of, you know, splotchy in places. And you can go as thick as you want to with these little swirls. So since I went this direction with the last swirl, on the next one, I'm gonna branch off of this one and go the other way. So it's the same swirl and it goes two different directions. And then I'm just thickening it up. There we go. Brett is my middle child. Charlie just went down for a nap a few minutes ago and she was feeling quite sassy, so she must have needed one. Okay, and then I like to work off of the other swirls that I created when I add in more swirls. And so I'm going to maybe come up this way, or yeah, we're gonna come up this way. And so I try to fill in the area in between the other swirls. So I had an area here that I could fit a swirl. So I put that one there, and then I'll go another direction in a moment to fill in another area. That way you don't have one random swirl in a place and then have dead area with no swirl. And you can get as thick or thin on these little swirl lines as you like. Okay, so I don't really have room for a swirl down here, so on this part I'm going to branch up and go bigger right up here. We're going to add some fun highlights and stuff to these swirls in just a moment, so stick around. It's going to look much different than this when I get done with it. You make it look so easy. Donna, it's because I don't care if it's perfect or not. That's why it looks easy. It's no secret. Okay, so see right here how this one went this way and that one went that way? I have a weird little area right here that doesn't have anything. So I'm going to bring one out of the middle and fill in that area. I feel like I'm shouting. Am I shouting at you guys? Sometimes I get excited and I start yelling, talking too loud. Okay, let's start and go down toward that one now. So I'll do one here. I love these colors. Do you guys like to dye Easter eggs with your kids? It's one of our favorite activities is dyeing eggs. I've always wanted to try the Easter egg dyeing with like the old ties. Have you guys seen that, where you roll an egg up in an old like man's tie and the pattern on the tie comes off on the egg? It always looks like that would be fun. All right, I got a little offline there, so we're just gonna thicken this up. Okay, since that one went that way, I'm gonna do one right here going this way. So I'm just essentially filling in different areas with bigger and more swirls. Thank you guys for sharing. For those of you who are sharing, you guys know that I love to message and surprise people who share the video. I usually pick like one random person after the video is over, and I'll message them and say, hey, what's your address? I'd love to send you some Happy Mail. So feel free to share if you'd like Happy Mail. I don't know anybody who doesn't like Happy Mail. Okay, and then I'm going to do one this way. And then we'll do one this way. There we go. The video's over, I'll go back and read your comments. So even if I've missed it or missed your question, I will happily go back and answer it after the video's over. I'll go back and type a response. Okay, we've got some awkward space up here we got to fill in, so I'm going to do a little swirl here. And then another one, a bigger one right here. And then we have a little awkward space right here, so I may do like a half of a swirl coming off this way. That one's disappearing off the page. Off the egg. Okay. Alright, you guys, I don't want you, I know you are kind of far away, and so you can't see this up close like I can. I don't want to deceive any of you guys and make you think that like my swirl strokes are perfect. So let me get up here and show you just exactly how imperfect these are. See here? They're a little bit of a hot mess in places. They're not perfect. They're not, they're kind of streaky in places, but what we're getting ready to do next kind of hides all of that. So this is the part that's magic. All right, so next I'm going to get a little bit of white and mix with the pink that I just used to create a lighter shade of that pink. So I'm just dripping a little bit in there, and I'm going to get a smaller round tip brush. So the last time I used a large round tip brush, what size was this? It was the largest one in the pack. It doesn't say what size it is on there. So now I'm just going to get a smaller one. So let me pick one here. Straighten out the bristles. Those bristles are not, or they're beyond help. Let me pick another one. No. Nope. I'm a little picky today, I guess. I'm having a hard time finding one that's just slightly smaller. They do not look perfect, Ashley. They don't. But I don't want you guys to like think, because I know a lot of you guys really get self-critical about your door hangers and your painting, and you think that your line strokes have to be just perfect and all of that. Mine do not look perfect, but this next technique like distracts from everything on there. So I've mixed some pink and white together to create a light pink. And now in just different places on the swirls, I'm going to create like a little highlight. Do it kind of quick. Don't try to get it perfect or anything like that. This is just to kind of make this swirl look like three-dimensional. Oh, one other thing I forgot to mention. If you guys are wanting access to the free library where we have this template, you can comment the word egg, and then inside that free library area, with each template, I have linked where you can purchase the blank if you would rather purchase a blank, and I have linked like the video where I taught you guys how to paint that blank. So for instance, if you go in there, you'll see that there is a mermaid tutorial and a mermaid template and a pineapple and something else for Halloween, and then there's a heart for Valentine's. And so you'll see like the video and the template there together. And so anytime you want to paint a door hanger, you can log into that free library, download the template, cut it out, or purchase the blank, and then watch the video right there with it. Okay, so you see those highlights? It's just a light pink on top of that magenta, and it made those swirls really pop. Now, last but not least, I'm gonna use this same brush. I'm gonna rinse it out. I'm gonna get, and this is gonna seem kind of weird, but I'm gonna get some black and some white and do some highlights with both of those. Highlights and accents. Okay, so let's start with the black. I'm doing a really light stroke, but I'm just gonna kind of create like a little bit of a distraction, if you will, or accent on some of these swirls, and it makes these swirls really pop. Something about that black makes these colors really pop. And so I'm just doing just a very light swoosh, if you will, I don't know what you call it, on different parts of this swirl with the black. And it busies this up and makes it look so cool. It looks like you really worked hard on it, but you can see I'm doing this in like 2 seconds. Okay, let me stand back and look for a second. Do a different one there. Okay, so here it is with the black. So you can just barely see those little black accents, but it makes those swirls pop even more. Somebody said the link didn't work. Has anyone else tried the link yet? You can go to southernadoornmentsdecor.com and click on free library at the top also if the link's not working for you. Okay, so now with the white, I'm just going to do a little bit with the white because I don't want to go like too much because we've already done that pink. So I'm doing like less strokes with the white. And some of them are overlapping, like some of them I'm overlapping those pink strokes and the black strokes. This has got a lot going on, but it's going to be so cute. And some of my little strokes are bigger than others. That's okay. All right, so to finish it off, I'm going to rinse that brush. It's a round tip brush. Get some black. And I'm going to do a thick wiggly line around the outside. This is just a standard like little cute accent to kind of make the door hanger look finished. So you can do little dots and then do some more little wiggles. Wiggles are perfect for those of you whose hands shake really bad or you're like worried about getting a perfect little outline. Do a wiggle. Dot, dot, dot. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. And I'm getting lots of paint on my brush when I do that wiggle so it goes nice and far. I don't have to keep re-dipping too often. Okay, let me hold this up for you guys to see. There we go. Oh no, hang on. My phone just popped up that my battery's low. I gotta click off of this. Okay, let me get you guys just a wee bit closer here. southernadoornmentsdecor.com and click on the free library at the top. So here is our cute little door hanger, and you can add lettering to this. Like we could put Happy Easter. Let me see, let me get a really big, this is a filbert tip brush, and I'm gonna get some black paint, load it up with black paint, and we're just gonna write Happy Easter on it. The main mistake I see people making when doing lettering with their door hangers is using too small of a brush or using too big of a brush. So make sure, like, practice beforehand if you're not sure about your brush size and see if your lettering is going to be big enough to stand out. Because like this is a very busy door hanger. It's got a lot going on. So I need a nice thick brush so that my lettering stood out. This is a filbert tip size 10. Happy Easter. There we go. Ta-da! Happy Easter. It's still kind of busy, so I may end up thickening up that lettering just a little bit more now that I'm like looking at it in the reflection. So now that I'm realizing my lettering wasn't quite thick enough, I'm going back and thickening up my letters so that they stand out really well. There we go. There we are. I'll make it look so easy. Debbie, it's not as hard as you think. It just takes practice and a willingness to not try to be perfect. If you're trying to be perfect, you're going to be miserable the whole time you're painting. But if you do it for the fun of it and you just try to do a little better every time you paint, it will get easier. And it doesn't mean you're not going to make mistakes. Like, for instance, I'm not too happy with the way this lettering looked when I first showed it to you guys. So now I'm going back and I'm thickening it up. So you just try different things. And if all else fails, if you absolutely think it looks like a disaster, it's paint. You can paint over it and try again. And if it's a really bad hot mess, you can always sand it down and paint it again. That's the lovely thing about paint. Okay, so I thickened up my lettering. Much easier to read now, huh? Okay. All right, so thank you so much for joining me today. If you want to check out more, go to southernadornmentsdecor.com, click on free library up at the top, and you can get this egg template, and I will be putting this video in there as well. That way it's easier to find for you guys later. And that's all I have for you today. If you guys want to learn more about painting door hangers, you can go to paintersclubhouse.com. I have a membership where I teach you guys monthly how to paint new door hangers, and I would love for you to get on that wait list. That way when we reopen in September, I can remind you about it. All right, thank you, and y'all have a wonderful afternoon. And don't forget to watch day 4 tomorrow. We'll have another special guest, and I will be sharing it right here to my page so that it's easy for you guys to find. See you guys later.